Hello, and welcome to YouTube.com, where a robot can choose to take away your livelihood for something you didn't do, and where by definition, there is video evidence where they've caught you red-handed not doing it. Hi again. I'm sure you have many questions for me. Why shouldn't I trust YouTube? Who are you? Why do you have two microphones? I promise you this, I will answer most of these questions during this video. My name is Imported Cheese. I mostly make Pokemon videos, unfortunately, but I also make Fire Emblem videos. It's actually a Fire Emblem video that got demonetized and caused me to make this video. And I'm also a big fan of the Warcraft universe, which is why you can trust me, okay? I'm definitely a good guy who wouldn't lie to you. I use holy magic. Listen, viewer. There's something about YouTube that you should know. Oh no. We're too late. This video has already been demonetized. Our story begins a few weeks ago when I was doing some back-end work on my YouTube channel, and I noticed that one of my live streams for Fire Emblem 8, The Sacred Stones, had been marked with a yellow, not suitable for advertisers label. Normally, YouTube sends you an email when they demonetize one of your videos, but in this case, they didn't. I just happened to notice that it had been marked for death by the algorithm. Lucky me. Now, at this point, I wasn't actually too worried. I'm not gonna say that this happens all the time, but it has happened before. Usually all I do is request a manual review, and then within a couple hours or a day, it's solved, no problem. You can probably tell by the runtime of this video, there was a problem. I requested the manual review, and a couple hours later, I received an email saying that the demonetization status was upheld. It's important to note that at this point, I have no idea why the video was demonetized. They don't actually tell you. All I know is that somewhere in this 12-hour live stream of an E-rated game with PG-rated commentary, something violated something here on their monetization policies. I have no idea what. Having failed the first manual review, we're gonna have to put quotes on manual in editing. The next course of action was to submit an appeal for an additional review. Not every video is eligible for an additional review. I have no idea what the criteria are, they don't tell you, but lucky me, turns out that this video was eligible for an additional review. The process to request an additional review was pretty simple, took me about 5 minutes, just had to fill out some basic details about the video. Notably, I couldn't actually explain or try to appeal the reason for demonetization because I still didn't know it! But I submitted the request for an additional appeal. At this point, it was pretty late here in Japan, it was about 2 AM, so I figured I would just go to sleep and then hopefully, when I woke up, I would see that the video was remonetized, no problem. You can probably assume, based on the runtime of the video, there was a problem. I wake up the next day, I check my channel, and I can see that the demonetization decision was upheld. And I actually had an email from the YouTube support team explaining it. In my inbox, there is an email from Mal'Ganis. I don't know how you survived, but I swear their name was not Mal'Ganis. Obviously, I'm not showing you their real name. I don't think they were a Dreadlord. And to be honest, I don't even think they were a human. And I would know that because I am in fact the leader of the human faction. I will now read you the contents of the email they sent me. Hi there. Thank you for reaching out to us. This is Mal'Ganis, and I will be assisting you today. I see that you are having concern with your video monetization. It's a little weird. I know how important it is for you to have this issue sorted out. No worries. I got you, and I'm more than willing to check this out for you. It was at this point they did reveal the reason for the demonetization. You ready? Our team took a closer look at video code and found that your content doesn't align with the inappropriate language policy in our advertiser-friendly content guidelines. Your video is not suitable for many advertisers. We found these violations. Use of extreme profanity in the video. Now, pardon my French, but je ne pas comprendre. Although my name is Imported Cheese, my commentary tends to be very milk toast. I pretty much never swear. Thinking about questionable things that happen in my live streams, in almost all of them, the viewers are devoured by hordes of ghouls at my request. But that's not extreme profanity. And more importantly, they deserved it. The email then continues, because of the current violation, your video will remain with the yellow icon. Just a friendly reminder, if you have any other concerns, you can visit our help center for self-help options, or you can follow us at Team YouTube for the latest news. Keep safe. Regards, Mal'Ganis. They were kind enough to include a timestamp to the offending moment within the live stream. So I will now explain to you in excruciating but hopefully approachable detail what exactly I said and why I said it. Where's my hammer? Wait, what? Oh, I accidentally disabled the mic. Hello? Oh no. No! The offense in question occurred during a live-streamed playthrough of Fire Emblem VIII: The Sacred Stones for the Game Boy Advance. Fire Emblem is a strategy role-playing game where the good anime has to defeat the bad anime. You control the good anime, and you know that you're the good guys because your characters tend to be very pretty. In order to attack, you need to equip weapons. All weapons cost money, and they have durability. Once they run out of durability, they break and can no longer be used. Important for our case, this also includes magic. One of our star characters was named La Rochelle, and she had the option to use either the more powerful but more expensive Thunder Tome, or the cheaper but less powerful Fire Tome. Thanks to some divine favor and some very blessed level ups earlier on, we were actually able to afford to use the weaker tome and still mop up a lot of the grunts and peons that we were fighting in the clip in question. I will not actually play the exact clip of what I said for fear of this video getting demonetized. So instead, I will repeat what I said in a firm and explicit manner. Explicit in the sense that I hope nobody will misunderstand it. Good evening. Our top story tonight. Due to budget cuts, we are forced to use the Fire Tome. That's it. That's all I said. Some of you may not even realize what I've been accused of saying. I certainly didn't until I thought about it for a few minutes. I think most English speakers will agree that budget cuts is a very common English phrase, and I think even without the several minutes of context I just provided, the naughty version I've been accused of saying doesn't really make any sense, right? Not unless I'm talking about some sort of miserly, mostly female accounting department that I guess I don't really like. Disputes on YouTube almost never escalate to the legal level, which is good because this video was demonetized and I can't afford a lawyer. But I can afford these green screen graphics. Objection! Your Honor, I couldn't have slashed the budget because my weapon deals crush damage. And in case you're not convinced by that argument, I do have another airtight defense. I did not say it. It's not true. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I did not say it. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. All of that drivel I made just for you, the person watching this video. What I actually said in my response email was, "Hi, Mal'Ganis. Thank you for responding to my request for a manual review and providing a timestamp of an offending moment. However, I'm still at a loss as to why the video has been deemed unsuitable for advertisers. The stated reason is use of extreme profanity in the video, which I do not believe to be the case. At the timestamp given, I say, due to budget cuts, we have to use the fire tone. Perhaps something was misheard, but it is my understanding that nothing in that phrase could reasonably be construed as offensive by viewers, and I consciously try to avoid vulgar language in my videos and streams. Would I be able to request that your team review the evidence once more, or, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, ask that I be sent timestamps of other offending moments? Thank you for your assistance, and I hope to hear back from your team soon." Having sent that highly professional and persuasive email, it was getting pretty late in Japan. It was about 2 a.m. and I decided I should just go to sleep. Surely, I would wake up, look at the video, see that it's remonetized, problem solved. You can probably guess based on the runtime of the video, the problem was not solved. So I woke up, checked the video, saw it was still demonetized, and I had a new email explaining why. Hi there. I hope this email finds you well. I understand that you wanted your video to be reviewed by our internal team again, as much as I want to provide you with all the help you need. However, they already manually reviewed the video and it was found that it violated our policy. Please keep in mind that their decision is final in all caps. We know this is not your ideal outcome. However, please know that we highly value the overall well-being of YouTube's community, which is why we are very strict when it comes to our policies and we enforce it equally and fairly to all our partners. We hope you understand. Regards, Mal'Ganis. Now at this point, I'm pretty miffed. You might even say, Mythic Plus. I decide I'm going to respond to this message. Hello, Mal'Ganis. Thank you for running my request by your team again. I understand that you yourself are not responsible for this outcome, but I'm extremely dissatisfied with how this entire process has been handled. From the complete lack of transparency as to why the video was initially marked for limited ads, to the review process which left me just as clueless, only now with several collective hours wasted between myself and the YouTube team. Is it not possible to have a dialogue opened with the review team so that I can explain the exact context for what is being said? Or at the very least, have them explain to me what it is I did incorrectly so that I can ensure that I do not repeat the mistake? YouTube is my livelihood, and it's extremely worrying to me that I can abide by the rules and still be punished as if I had willingly and blatantly infringed upon them. Thank you for your cooperation, and hopefully we can come to a satisfactory resolution soon. If you're a longtime viewer of this channel, you'll understand that what I said in that email is far, far scarier than putting on a silver wig and leering at the camera. By this point, there are hundreds of hours of me speaking candidly on the internet, and nothing I have said in those hours comes anywhere close to the tone I've taken in that email. I'm being serious. Dead serious. But at this point, I figured it's sorta out of my hands. There's nothing else I can do except hope for a positive response. And it's getting pretty late in Japan. It's about 2 a.m. So I decide I'm just gonna go to sleep. Hopefully when I wake up, the video will be marked remonetized. Problem solved. You can probably guess based on the... I wake up, check the video, it's still demonetized, and I have a new email in my inbox. This time, it's not from Mal'Ganis. Again, I'm gonna redact their name. However, and I'm not kidding here, the person sending the email had the same name as one of the characters in the game I was playing where I got demonetized. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, but it really felt like some cosmic taunting at this point. Hi there. I hope this email finds you well. This is Ganondorf. I understand that you're concerned about the decision in your video's monetization. I feel the importance of this to you as a creator. I collaborated with our internal team as I believe that you've done your part. Let me share our findings with you. Our internal team has already reviewed your video and has confirmed that the initial decision will remain. As per the previous email, your video doesn't align with the inappropriate language policy in our advertiser-friendly content guidelines. Your video is not suitable for many advertisers. We found these violations. Same timestamp as before. Since an appeal can only be submitted once per account, they carefully check all the details to make sure that they make the right decision, since once it has been decided upon, it cannot be overturned and no additional attempts can be done afterwards. We hope you understand our limitations. Thank you for trusting and giving us the opportunity to assist you. It's been a pleasure working with you. Know that you're always welcome to reach out to us anytime should you have any concerns in the future. Kind regards, Ganondorf. That's actually the last email I received from the YouTube team, and that should be where this story ends. After all, they did type final in caps. However, I have a confession. I lied. And forgot to record this live, so it's dubbed. By the time I'd received the email from Ganondorf, I had actually already solved the issue. That's right, there's actually a happy ending. I got the video remonetized. And here's how I did it. After I sent my final terse, very spooky email to Mr. Mal'Ganis, I logged on to a different website. Twitter.com. I have a Twitter account. I created it a few years ago when I made my YouTube channel. I never used this account, and that's because I never used this godforsaken website. However, I had heard that sometimes tweeting at Team YouTube could get your issues resolved. I took a screenshot of the offending moment, I explained my situation as best I could within the character limit, and I sent it into the ether at Team YouTube. Within an hour, they had actually responded. They advised that I go through the additional manual review process. I clarified in a response that I had actually already done that, unsuccessfully. Then about an hour after that, they responded saying that they would look into it. At this point in the exchange, it was getting pretty late here in Japan. It was about 3 a.m., so I decided I would just go to sleep, and hopefully, in the morning, the video would be remonetized. Problem solved. And that's actually what happened. The video was remonetized. I never actually submitted a feedback survey for the official YouTube team. You can probably guess what my response would be. But as for @TeamYouTube on Twitter, 5 stars. I'm especially impressed that they were able to solve my issue, considering I actually had to delete and retype several replies because I cannot navigate these labyrinthian threads. Talk about threads of despair. I can see why they had to nerf that card. If you gave me a choice between spending life and undeath on Twitter.com or as a slave in the Saronite mines, I guess I'll grab a pickaxe. So what's been the impact of this entire debacle? When a video is demonetized, there's 2 main effects. The first, more obvious one, is that the video itself earns a lot less money. Ironically, that's actually the less concerning part. Most videos earn very little money. In fact, if someone were to pay me the hourly wage required to produce most of these videos, it would be illegal. The far more damaging part of demonetization is that the demonetized video gets suppressed in the algorithm. It means that that video will get far fewer views, and by extension, your entire channel then gets far fewer views. Now, I don't have exact numbers. After all, you can't really calculate money that you didn't earn, but based on my experience on YouTube, I guesstimate that the economic impact of having this live stream demonetized was overall about $2 US. which is less than the train fare I needed to actually go to my friend's house and film this.
Don't forget about factoring in my pay.
Oh, I didn't forget. I'm lucky enough to be able to say that $2 stolen out of my pocket by big tech isn't the end of the world for me. I will survive. And that's largely thanks to the mighty Patreons that you see on screen behind me. YouTube is an incredibly volatile industry where things like this can happen at any moment, and it is only because of the steady support from Patreon that I'm able to justify doing the things I do, considering the time that it takes. And now let me be clear. That's not what I meant. I don't actually blame the demonetization bot. I think the bot could have construed what I said as what they accused me of saying. My issue is with the allegedly human part of the process, where their advice was to just give up. And that their word was final in caps, when it clearly wasn't. And now, I'm gonna ask a question that's maybe a bit too erudite for this ridiculous costume I'm wearing. What even are bad words? Think about how we treat bad words in society. Sometimes they're called curse words. I know a lot about curses. It's a pretty heavy term, right? Curse? As if they actually have the power to hurt people. I think that what makes a word bad is when it hurts someone directly, which is why things like racial slurs are bad, because they're meant to target and demean certain people. I guess in this case my crime actually does involve slurring, as in I could have spoken more clearly. But when it comes to generally naughty words, who cares? I guess advertisers care, but let me remind you, I didn't even say the bad words! Not to mention that bad words vary wildly based on region, even within the English language. For example, in England, an insurance scheme is just what you call an insurance plan. Whereas in the United States, where I'm from, I guess you'd still call insurance a scheme, but you probably mean the kind that increases your special attack by 2 stages. And just to play devil's advocate, let's think about if I did it. This entire continent should be demonetized. How many people noticed that was Northrend and not actually Australia? Now, I know that many people consider live streams to be slop content, easy to turn out. And you're kinda right. But I take live streams very seriously. I wake up at 6 a.m. to set them up because the vast majority of my viewers are over in the United States, whereas I'm in Japan. And then I sit myself down and I go for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours. You could think of this as 12 hours of playing a children's game. I think that's a little bit unfair. It's more like 12 hours of live performance. I know how conceited that sounds, but you do have to really be dialed in the entire time, interacting with hundreds of internet strangers, all the while managing the technical aspects, in my case quite poorly, and trying your best to just be entertaining, whatever that means. For me, that often means preparing special edited segments ahead of time that I can weave into whatever story I'm trying to tell in my playthrough. When I say I do 12-hour live streams, I really do mean 12 hours. I don't take breaks. I don't eat. I do go to the bathroom, which I guess does make me a casual. But usually past the 8-hour mark, I get viewers trickling in, concerned, asking if I'm alright, sometimes wondering how it's logistically possible for me to do these streams. And because nobody around me in real life asks me those questions, well, that's how it's possible. For context on me, before I did YouTube, I actually worked in the Japanese TV industry, behind the scenes, as an assistant director. And assistant director is a role that is so widely known to be browbeaten and abused that it is actually its own category in Japanese adult videos. Don't ask how I know that. But even an industry that abusive has laws, has guidelines. A 12-hour live stream in Japanese TV? This is illegal, you know. What I'm trying to get at is, I care about YouTube a lot, and I take it very seriously. For one word, in a 12-hour live stream, the entire thing was demonetized. And I'm asking you, does the punishment fit the imaginary crime? In conclusion, for as ridiculous as this whole saga has been, I can at least say two things. One, it was still better than Shadowlands. And two, it's like poetry. It rhymes. This entire fiasco could have been easily resolved by a human reviewer, which YouTube can't afford to hire. So in the end, I think you could say that this entire kerfuffle was caused by budget cuts.